Afternoon, everyone.
What's up? What's up?
What do we have?
Ryan, is Antonio and everyone else there with you?
Yeah, we just got a name change.
Oh,
Antonio.
4-man team over there, eh?
you guys should turn your cameras on, it's make it an intimate experience here.
I miss human interaction. I need
Yeah, exactly.
to see people. I'm a social.
Unfortunately, our team isn't supporting a camera right now.
How are you going to pitch then?
We'll just switch to a laptop with a camera when we need to pitch.
Gotcha.
Sonia, how's it going?
Hey, doing good. How's everyone? How's everyone here?
Can't complain.
Yep. How was your exam, Sonia?
It was good. It went well. Half of it is graded on the spot, and I think I did well. I got some sort of fraction. I don't know how it was graded, but I think I did well. We'll see how the free response is graded. But
What class was it for?
it's for bio.
Ooh, yikes! It's like bio for chemie now.
No, for my pre-med requirement.
Oh, that's right. You're still pre-med.
Yeah.
Very much confused me, Sonia.
Yeah, everyone's still pre-med. But yeah, we'll see. I had 2 tests today, so today's been a little rough, brain power wise. But I'm excited to watch some pitching.
What's up, Omar? I like your glasses. Okay. Let me just do a real quick head count of everyone here and see who we're missing.
For those of you who just joined, if you have a camera, please turn it on. There we go. There we go. What's up, Michael and Jim?
What's up?
Who else is joining? IBK, do you have a camera you can turn on?
Okay, so I think we're missing 3 people from the list of people who've signed up. I guess we could give them a few more minutes, and then if they don't show up, then that's just 1 for your team, which is fine.
Because we may not get so much more time altogether, do we want to do some intros if you're just joining us and not on the leadership of DSC or ENTP Plus? So if you are participating today, just take yourself off mute, share whatever you want on this Friday afternoon. Who's gonna kick us off?
So hi, my name is Ibukun Uwagbaje, but most people just call me IBK, and I am a Meki Aerospace Engineering major at Case. A junior, kind of.
Hey everybody, I'm Pavan. I'm a junior at Case studying statistics and finance. I'm part of NEO-SVF as well as the Weatherhead Fund, and I was invited by Prithik to come to this event. I just wanted to actually make sure, Eddie, that you have me down as not actually participating. I'm just watching. This morning was our our investor meeting for new SVF, so I'm a little bit burnt out
Yeah,
from
all
that
good.
whole ordeal.
Yeah, I have you down for just
All
watching.
right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Amar.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Someone else
for
going?
it.
All right,
Now
cool.
go for it, man.
All right, thanks, Jim. Yeah, so I'm Amar. I'm a junior. I'm a chemical biology and economics major, also part of NUSVF. Happy to be here.
Hello, I'm Jim. I'm a freshman and I studying electrical engineering. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm Michael. I'm a freshman, business management major. Just kind of joined this at the last second.
Maybe the boards as well should do some introductions just real quick.
Kick us off, Max.
Thanks, Harry. Hey guys, I'm Max. I'm the programs director for Entrepreneurship Club, or ENTP Plus, as we like to call it. I'm a senior biomedical engineering student. Yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Sonia Sunaina.
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone, I'm Sonia. I am a sort of third year chemical engineering major, and I'm the finance director for ETB Plus.
Hello, I'm Sunaina. If you're here, you probably saw my email, but I'm the communications director for ENTP Plus, and I'm a senior biomedical engineering student as well.
All right. Any non-Eddie DSC board people?
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Annika Washburn. I'm a junior comp sci major, and I'm the vice president for DSC.
Hey, I'm Hunter. I'm the VP of Logistics for DSC, and I'm a sophomore comp sci major.
Did we get everyone? Anyone else left to go?
I think that was it, unless the 4 people want to go.
I'll start. I'm Ryan. I'm a third year electrical engineering major.
I'm Ellis. I'm a third year math major.
I'm Jake. I'm a third year computer science major.
And I'm Antonio. I'm a third year biomedical engineering major.
Fantastic. Cool. Well, I'm very glad to have all of you here. You got a shot to win some super cool prizes today. There's a monitor, speaker, headphones, a Keurig. So we're gonna have a couple prizes going home with a couple of people, small groups. So your odds are very good today. So welcome to Pitch It to Win It, a collaborative event between ENTP Plus, the Entrepreneurship Club, and the Developer Student Club at Case Western Reserve. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have 2 rounds. First one, we'll get to the agenda in a minute. First, let's get some intros from Eddie and myself. So Eddie, if you want to start it off.
Yeah, sure. Wow, my picture's a lot more pixelated than yours, I just realized. But hey everyone, my name's Eddie. I'm a junior here at Case Western. I'm studying computer science, and I'm the president of the Developer Student Clubs, which is, I guess, a really cool, or I guess what we do is we use technologies that's provided to us by Google, and we build projects using these technologies to solve problems in our local community. So, for example, if like a restaurant that was affected by COVID doesn't have like the back-end technologies or resources to like advertise their menu, we'll like, build them an app or a website to do that. And yeah, we also host a lot of like technical workshops. We do collaboration events like this all the time, or not all the time, but like we're planning on it. And yeah, it's just a really cool place where we can all like hang out, learn from each other, network and stuff.
Cool. And I am Harry. So I'm the head of the Entrepreneurship Club for this semester. Sorry for these 2 semesters this year. I'm a third year studying electrical engineering and computer science. And I think entrepreneurship is pretty cool. First, I'll give you a pitch for entrepreneurship and then the entrepreneurship club. So I like to say that entrepreneurship works because the best people to solve problems are the people that are closest to the problems. So it gives individuals the power to address a problem that they're seeing or an opportunity for improvement in their world. So the entrepreneurship club works to enable students to learn, develop, and build ventures, become entrepreneurs. In the process, we can help you network, we can help you build up understandings and entrepreneurial identity. We also make sure you have some context for everything you're doing. We have some fun speaker events. We have some fun initiatives coming up. And we like to spice it up. We got a lot of range. So cool stuff coming. If you're not already signed up on campus groups, I'd recommend it. And you'll start to get our emails and see some cool stuff. If you have questions, reach out to any of the entrepreneurship club people on this call, including myself. But excited to have you all here, and let's jump right in.
All right, cool. So yeah, this is a pretty tentative agenda for today. First, we're going to split you guys up into breakout rooms. We were originally planning groups of 4, but I guess since we have a smaller group today, we'll probably do pairs. So I'll be splitting everyone up into breakout rooms. And yeah, so the first event we're doing is a MadAds thing. I guess we could go to the next slide and explain what that is. So for MadAds, the goal is to create a humorous sales pitch convincing the judges to buy your product. Some of the ways you can convey this is by rap, conversation, an act, or ultimately a pitch. And yeah, the presentations can be done by one member or divided among the members of the team. And slides are not required for the presentations, but they definitely help and are welcome. You'll have about 2 minutes to present. You'll have about 10 minutes to, I guess, like come up with your pitch. And yeah, the goal is to like be creative and be funny and hopefully convince the judges to buy your product. Okay, cool. So with that said, I guess, Harry, do you want to assign some of the products to some of the teams? I'll make the breakout rooms.
Okay, yeah, so we'll need 4 breakout rooms. So the first team is going to be composed of Antonio and Ryan. And Antonio and Ryan, your product is going to be, you may want to write this down in case you forget. It's going to be the milk filter. Filter out the stuff that makes milk milk. In goes milk, out comes water. So that's your product. So you guys will go to whatever breakout room number 1 is. And yeah.
Yeah, just to quick cut you off real quickly. It might be easier if you guys join on like 2 separate computers for this, just because like you guys will be presenting. I mean, unless you guys want to like present on the same computer, which is fine, but just heads up.
All right, so the next group is going to be Jake and Ellis, and you guys will be Find Your Beach. Ever wanted to have a beach day in Boston in December? Find Your Beach will come drop sand off wherever you want. So you guys are going to breakout room number 2, and again, your product is Find Your Beach. Group number 3, we have Michael and Jim. We got a couple of options. All right, Michael and Jim, you guys will be doing porch pooper. Did the neighbor's dog poop on your lawn again? This robot dog takes dog poop and brings it back to the neighbor's lawn. So you guys are going into breakout room number 3, and once again, you're doing the porch pooper. Finally, we have Amar and IBK. You guys will be going into breakout room number 4. What should we give you? You'll be doing Windows. these are windows that are transparent displays running Windows 10. So breakout room 4, Windows. All right, so I think that's all we need to get you guys started. Any questions while we're all together? Going once. Going twice. All right. Anything else to add, Eddie, before people head out to their breakout rooms?
I think that was, no, I think that's it. Yeah, just remember, have fun, be creative, and I'm about to open up all the breakout rooms, so good luck.
Remember, there's big prizes at stake too.
Big prizes, big prizes.
Does anyone want to volunteer first? If not, we'll have to choose a team. Alrighty, I guess we have to choose a team. Let us know if you need sharing screen privileges, if you made a presentation or not. But let's start with Amar and IBK.
Okay, so
Yep.
all right. Hey, wait. Okay. So, hi everyone. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be Tony Stark? Do you ever feel like your life is just too boring? Are your children spending too much on their screens and not enough time looking outside? Now you don't have to worry about any of these anymore. We present to you Windows.
Yeah.
Take it away.
So with our patented solution, patent pending, we found out a way to put Windows on a window. So the main application for this, we're not going to lie, is to make sure your kids are not watching bad things online. But there are a lot of good secondary markets that we have. Have you ever wanted to feel like Tony Stark? You get the full screen, it's touch screen. It costs like $4 for the actual whole window, which is crazy. And in these COVID times, especially, we're feeling a bit out of touch with nature. And so our solution will let you bring back the nature into your own house, where you can do work and do presentations, watch movies, all while experiencing nature. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
Oh yeah, so definitely look out for Windows. It's going to be the next big thing. I also encourage you to invest in our business because you're about to make bank. If you're chasing the bag, make sure to invest and buy our product. All right, thank you.
All right, judges, any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. So you mentioned that the window will cost $4. Have you thought about what kind of development costs it would take for your company to create one, and how did you come across $4 as you're selling?
Yeah, no, definitely, I can answer that question. So although we say the installation will cost $4 for the consumer, there is actually a lot of back-end stuff that the consumer doesn't have to worry about. We recently got funded by Y Combinator, so we're using the funding right now just to get user acquisitions. We've hired we've built tens of thousands of robots that are currently stationed all over the world, ready to unveil our product. So a part of our big, revealing campaign, we're actually going to have a huge giant windows in Times Square. We're planning on taking all these robots and then taking off the current billboards that are on Times Square and then replacing them with the windows. So you'll be able to see what's happening inside the building, and then people can now use that space as office space. So win-win.
Thank you. Very thorough answer to my question.
I had a question too. I was wondering what your expected revenues were for the next year. If you could just next year, 2 years, just give me a timetable on that. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say $2 billion because, we do wild things over here. We perform magic. And also,
yeah, no, the TAM for this industry is actually over 500 billion. The TAM is 500 billion. We're expecting we can capture at least 10% of that market. Because how many windows are there in the world? There's a lot. So the TAM is very high. We think we can capture 10%. We have some, we have a pitch deck that I can send to you. That's the pitch deck we used to get our interview at Y Combinator. Our projected revenue is extremely high. The CAGR for this, industry is 35% year-over-year growth, which is extremely high, considering even the EV market is like 22%. So this is 35% CAGR, compound annual growth rate. That is, that's just a crazy thing, Although we have $0 in annual recurring revenue as of now, we can project that we're going to have at least $2 million in annual recurring revenue by 2 months.
All right. Cool. We're going to have to cut it off for that group right there, but another round of applause. Well done. Lots of dollar signs. All right, Eddie, who's going next?
I want to hear from Ryan and Antonio right now.
All right.
Judges, also start real quick. Judges, try to put your score before you forget in the Excel sheet. Thank you.
Hi, sorry, can you actually give me a second? Antonio just received a phone call and he's a little busy. Can we go like a little later? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. How about Jake and Else then?
Okay. Is there no feedback coming in? All right. So our product is the Find Your Beach, which will deliver a beach to you at any time. All right. Yep.
Hey, are you in a landlocked state, too afraid to fly with all the sickos, and your kids keep waking you up with peanut butter all over their hands? Well, thanks to cutting-edge technology, we will bring a beach directly to you.
For only 6 installments of $59.99, we will send a strapping young delivery boy to your house with 2 tons of sand in a junk truck. Find Your Beach does not include water. Find Your Beach does not guarantee fun. Find Your Beach is not responsible for any crabs, snakes, or bodies found in the sand delivered. Thank you.
Find Your Beach.
Well done. All right, judges, any questions?
I have a question. Could you talk about some of the competitors in the space in the market that you're trying to target?
Well, that's actually one of the great places about this space is that most of our competitors tend to be free beaches or just free places where you can find sand, like a sandbox or like a cat's litter box. And clearly those aren't drawing a lot of attention. The best competitor a beach has is, maybe they charge a few bucks for a beach license, but everyone knows that you don't really do that and you just run away whenever the beach inspector comes. So they're not even pulling in any profit. And thanks to COVID and nobody wanting to travel, especially if they don't want to go out of state, they don't want to go to someone else's dirty, disgusting beach. They want their own personal beach. And so we're really the only one of our kind.
Next, you have a question? Any other questions? Judges?
What do you see as like your profit margins? Because like I'd imagine shipping all that sand, especially if you're shipping it, it's pretty expensive. Like it's a lot of weight too. Like what are the margins like these days per, like, let's say, a transaction?
Right. So it's another double benefit of the fact that our competitors are mainly these free beaches and just, anybody's sand, is that if we go to a beach and take a bunch of sand from there, who's going to stop us? So all we really need to do is rent a couple of dump trucks, get the sand from the beach, and then it's free real estate,
There's no legal repercussions from that?
We haven't run into any yet.
You have a demographic that is most excited about this product?
Yes, definitely people who are not living on the coasts. Ohio, very good one. Indiana, a lot of people. Iowa. We love to see all the landlocked states for sure, because especially during COVID, you don't want to go on the plains. So we're trying to reach everyone.
Our research has shown, our market research has shown that most of America is actually not a beach. So if we can make anywhere a beach, then everywhere that isn't a beach is our potential market.
Fantastic. Cool. We'll cut it off there. Well done, you two. All right, let's see if we can go. Antonio and Ryan, are you guys ready, or we need a little more time?
We're muted.
We're gonna use Jake and Ellis's camera though.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay. Ryan, are you good? Okay. Has this ever happened to you?
Ah, this tastes like cow.
Well, look no further, because I have the solution. Try our brand new filtered milk. No longer will you have to deal with your milk tasting like an animal.
Ah, so good. Thanks, filtered milk. Now I'll never have to deal with my milk being milky again.
For just a small purchase of 6 payments of $9.99.99, you too can get your very own filtered milk, water not included. Never again will you have to deal with the milk tasting like milk. Side effects may include hydration, becoming addicted to water, having to go to the bathroom. Federal warning, filtered milk contains no actual milk products. Any questions?
Where were the decimals in that series of nines?
It's $999.99, but it's only 6 payments of that, so don't worry, not too much.
Questions, judges?
Yeah.
Too good. Is this like patent pending? Do you guys have a patent? What's the deal?
We already have our patent on our filtered milk, but we do have to put the legal warning that no water is included. Unfortunately, yeah, our filtered milk, it filters out all of the parts of the milk, so we just have water, but we don't like to sell the actual water because we don't want to taint our product in any way by, using not fresh source. Right?
Have you guys considered using this filter for other beverages like orange juice or chocolate milk?
Our main target audience right now are users where milk is a very prevalent source for them. So this would be, anyone who owns a cow farm, for example, goat farm, things like that. So we're really focusing on the milk aspect. We're considering, if we go commercial, to, like you said, incorporate maybe chocolate milk, orange juice, mango juice, pineapple juice. Yeah.
What kind of what's the buzz around these different water companies? Are they kind of attacking you? Like, what do you see from maybe like Life Straw, those kind of companies as well? Anything?
We personally like to try to distance ourselves a little bit from the water companies because our product is, of course, a little different. We aren't trying to just sell you another water source. We're not trying to claim that we have the best water. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make milk that people who might have a lactose intolerance problem are able to drink. We're trying to make a milk that doesn't have to come straight out of an animal. It's filtered. It's better for you.
All right. Cool. Thank you one more time. Well done. We're moving on to our last and final group for the end of the first round, Michael and Jim.
All right. Can I get sharing privileges, or is it already enabled?
It should be good. Give it a shot and let us know.
All right. Are we good? You see that?
Yep, we can see your screen.
All right. So, we would like to present to you, hold up, the PP. Now, okay, there we go. I'm going to play a scenario that often plays out in everyday life, and I know all you have obviously experienced this. So, just going to go ahead, take a look at a video. You know, normal stuff on the street. And then you'll see a civilian. Now, who has not seen that? I'd be willing to bet that essentially everyone in this Zoom call has had that happen to them. And another area or problem that we're trying to fix with our product is, you know, your crazy neighbor John or Larry kind of getting into your yard and, you know, defecating on your lawn. I know everyone's practically dealt with this. We also have, you know, another example of a mystery pooper, you know, trying to make the slide a little fun, but also a little dangerous. So I'm going to hand it off to Jim to discuss our potential solution.
Gentlemen, ladies, we all know that crap in random places is a massive problem. And of course, we have a couple issues here. So here are the ideal scenarios. You know, you've got Rupert here. He cleans it up himself. He's a homie. You got Peanut Wigglebutt. You know, he's a gentleman. He just goes in the toilet. Or you have your 5-year-old daughter, Eileen, do it for you. But, you know, this is the real world, and this doesn't happen. We could go to the next slide. Of course, there are some existing competitors. You have Hide Poo. But the issue is, this is such a rampant issue. Hide Poo is great every once in a while. You can, you know, just put a rock over your neighbor's poo. But what's going to happen when you have rocks all over your lawn? You're just going to put rocks on top of rocks? It makes no sense, right? Okay, so next up, you know, finally, you've got the good old bag. Hand in the bag. You grab the squishy mess. You pick it up. I mean, some people might like the smell. I'm not going to judge. And, you know, there's some science out there about poop diffusion that, you know, it goes right on your hands, right through the plastic bag. And even then, you're contributing to the plastic crisis. So we present to you the PP. It's
That's
a dog.
A really big PP.
Yes. This is our largest model here. It just bites it and throws it right back in the neighbor's yard. Solving, honestly, there's even some studies out there that world hunger might be cured just by the PP. We don't know. Invest in our product today.
Any questions?
So I'm assuming this is patent pending technology, correct?
Yeah, we're actually in collaboration with Boston Dynamics. You may have seen their first prototype here, the Spot Mini. Yeah, so that was actually mostly us. And
we create.
Yeah.
We're basically Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any ideas if you were to add some form of recurring revenue to this model? What would you do?
Recurring revenue?
Something to keep people paying after they've made that initial purchase.
Well, what we've kind of considered is that with so many poops being taken daily on your lawn and just in public, the demand for this product is practically infinite. So we don't have to worry about revenue constantly coming in. because this product is basically worth $1 million. There's so much demand and so much poop out there that why would you even think we need to worry about revenue, coming in? We're just selling this product because everyone needs it.
We are also considering a subscription service for, as you can see, this dog, of course, does not have any ulterior motives to, kill the owner or anything. But let's say, hypothetically, you have an attacker, you have an intruder in your house. Home robbery is a really big issue today. We've got some titanium teeth. We've got some laser eyes. For the small price of $20 a month, you can have that at your disposal.
We went from $500 billion in revenue in the first presentation to infinite revenue in the last presentation. So that's good.
Yeah, well, we're clearly better.
Who knows? We'll find out. Any other questions from the judges? Alrighty then. Should we? I think we'll do some tabulating, and we'll save the exciting conclusion to the end. Does that work, Eddie? Cool.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to introduce our second round, which is going to be the elevator pitch. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. Desktop 2 with computer sound. Can everyone see this? See this guy over here, elevator pitch?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. So the goal here is to convince your judges that your solution is best to what problem you may ask. The problem you will be addressing is how to improve. Eddie, can you double check me on this? But I think it's how to improve the remote learning experience. Is that correct?
Yep, you got it.
Okay. So, yep, you can split it up between two members. You can have one person give it. You don't need slides, but you've seen one group use slides, and you can decide whether you think that's an effective thing you'd want to incorporate. You're going to have about a minute 30 to present. We're not super stringent, but I'll probably cut you off at 2 minutes. We'll say that. So I'm going to give a quick intro video for good pitching practice. And then there's an example here as well.
I'm going to show you how to pitch anything in 15 seconds. And we're going to do so with the help of a great tool called a message map. A message map is the visual display of your story on one page. So for this exercise, you're going to need a notepad, a tablet computer, or a good old-fashioned whiteboard. And we're also going to use the example of a real company called Lush. Lush is a global soap store. I believe they're in about 45 countries. They make fantastic handmade fresh soap. Ah, that lemon smells great. I don't have any financial interest in this company, but I know their messaging really, really well. I've talked to the founders before, and in order to create a really good message map, you got to know the story. So let's start with step one, creating what I call a Twitter-friendly headline. The Twitter-friendly headline is the one overarching message that you're trying to communicate to your customer, the one thing you want people to know about your brand or your product. I've already taken the liberty of filling this out. Lush makes handmade soaps and cosmetics. So again, based on my understanding and my understanding of the message, I think that's the one thing they want you to know. Lush makes handmade soaps and cosmetics. If that's all you know, it tells you a lot, and it also fits well within a Twitter post of 140 characters, so keep it short. But now let's fill in the rest of the message map with 3 or at most 4 supporting points. So again, based on what I understand of their messaging so far, I would say fresh is very important to them, and we'll talk about that in a second. Fresh. The other sub-point or supporting point I would make is environmentally, and I'll shorten it, environmentally friendly. And the third point is ethical campaigns. they support a lot of ethical campaigns globally and in their various communities where the locations are held. So Lush makes handmade soaps and cosmetics. There's 3 reinforcing points. They're fresh, they're environmentally friendly, and they support ethical campaigns. Now let's see how this would work out in the real world. I'm going to use a stopwatch for this. Let's assume, hypothetically, customer walks into a Lush store. A sales associate might say something like this. Hi, welcome to Lush. We make handmade soaps and cosmetics. Everything you see in the store is fresh, it's environmentally friendly, and part of the proceeds go to support ethical campaigns in our community. Take a look around, enjoy yourself. 15 seconds. In 15 seconds, I gave you the broad story. If that's all you know about Lush, this actually tells you quite a bit. But now let's go one step further. Let's extend the conversation somewhat, maybe to a 30-second pitch. You're going to have to support these points for a longer conversation. So under fresh, you might add just a couple of bullet points like manufactured daily, shipped the next day. Under environmentally friendly, you can put something like unpackaged so that the plastic doesn't end up in landfills. Or you might put ingredients not tested on animals. These sub-points, the supporting points for each of your 3 key messages, need to be very specific. They need to be examples, data, statistics, or even stories. And under ethical campaigns, you might add 1 or 2 of the campaigns that the Lush brand supports, either globally or locally in communities. So there you go. This is a message map. It is one of the most powerful tools in communication. It works each and every time, even for very complex products or concepts. I know because I've worked with leaders who have incredibly complex products to talk about or to sell. In fact, the more complex your product, the more you need the message map. Because you, as a leader, you need to communicate the benefits of your product in a way that is simple, clear, and concise. The message map is your winning ticket.
All right, so everyone's trying to make their winning ticket. So just remember the lessons that he's shared. You may want to take some time to make your own message map to prepare for this one. You will again have 10 minutes. We'll check in and see how everyone's doing at the end of 10 minutes. Any questions about this one? Once again, it is to improve the remote learning experience. So you're coming up with a product, you're making your message map, and you're putting together the minute and 30-second pitch. Any questions? All right, so we're going to get some breakout rooms, I think.
Yep, I just opened them back.
All right. Hear it. So we're going to get started with presentations for round 2, the pitches. Any final questions before we begin presenting? All right. Sunaina, who are we starting with this round? Is Sunaina here? Sunaina's here. Who should we start with?
Michael and Jim.
Michael and Jim going first. All right.
All right, guys. Got an amazing product for you here. Let me share my screen. Yeah. That work? Did I do this? Oh, wait. Oh, don't look. Okay. Everybody good? Can you see?
Yep.
All right. So our product is the Class Break Collaborative, and Michael will take it away.
All right. So some of the things are, I guess there are many issues that people experience with online learning. And as you can see from the data we've provided, people just do not tend to do well in a virtual environment. And in creating our product, we've kind of looked at the primary reasons as to why that's happening. Next slide. So we've highlighted 3 main issues which we feel are I guess, responsible for the lack of performance and kind of liking of online learning that it presents. One of them being motivation. A lot of people struggle with motivation. They're not getting the rewards of the natural interaction and friendship that comes with class. That's another one of our points. And yeah, just enjoyment overall is kind of dampered by not being next to people, not having companions, and just kind of being off in your own space.
So what we've decided to create is an interactive game that could be either taking place during class or most likely in a college setting to not take away from lecture environments, maybe after class or outside of class. Ideally, this would be regularly scheduled by the university itself to promote just a virtual culture of their universities. So the idea is you have games that universities would play against each other, and you would play with, like, for example, we would play with fellow Case students and to like compete against, let's say, Carnegie Mellon or something. And the idea here is to, by working together with your peers in a fun but competitive environment, it builds friendships and connections, which then can kind of simulate a little bit more like being on campus. Because while we are freshmen, and I guess I can't necessarily speak to being on campus because I have not been, I'd imagine, there's no doubt that coursework is hard, but it sure is a hell of a lot easier when you don't have, or when you have like all of your friends and an amazing community around you. And so building that community up around, even if it's in just a virtual setting, can really improve like motivation, interaction in class due to these external connections and release stress overall. Finally, we don't have a slide for this, but one of the other big factors about like an external product for remote learning is that we can't make it be paid for by the students, because the students are already, swamped in student debt or need to buy their own technology or laptops themselves. And so the beauty with this is that since it's all software based and it's all online, you don't have to worry about, like, this is something that the university could pay maybe a small subscription to. And in the grand scheme of the university, it probably wouldn't be very much, but it's enough to keep the company going. And it's just benefit for the students.
Yeah, and one more thing to add, we were kind of thinking of maybe a more, a kind of integration with Zoom possibly, where you have maybe small mini games in breakout rooms that teachers could use as a natural break during lectures, things like that. Similar to, like the iMessage games, it could be something as simple as that, just, encourage interaction, a degree of enjoyment and socialization. So that's what we're kind of going for.
Fantastic. Well done, you two. I'll start off with a question. So who's your initial target for marketing for this? How are you going to start getting this in people's hands?
Well, I mean, colleges and universities are honestly one of the, in my mind, the easiest target. Of course, there's more targets as to public schools, private schools for K through 12. However, with K through 12, since coronavirus has only been really a big issue and remote learning has only really existed for the past 2 years, in K through 12, you're more likely to already have friends and that external motivation source built up already. But when you go to college, like, I mean, I've just met most of you, or all of you, I think, today. And so for college students, like, even when you are in person, a lot of people say they struggle the first couple years just to find that group of friends to really motivate them. And so just to build it through colleges and by targeting them first is probably, like, colleges probably have the most need for it. And so that's what we choose to target first, I guess, is my long-winded answer to that.
Yeah, and kind of adding on that, we're both freshmen. I'm in person, and through my classes that I have in person, all the desks are spaced 6 feet apart. So I really, honestly, have not met anyone in an in-person class who I've become friends with. So I think with virtual learning, it's very important that you give those opportunities for people to, I guess, know each other. and become friends.
Cool. Thank you. We have time for one more question from the judges. Judges.
I can ask a question. Do you think that this venture would contribute to digital burnout? Because another thing with remote learning is constantly working with or staring at a screen. Would this add to that? Because it seems like these are virtual games. So like while there's a social perspective, social side, there's also it's still using a screen. Is there any way around that with your solution?
Well, I don't see because of remote learning and social distancing, I think it's a kind of a necessary evil to protect yourself, obviously, from the virus. If you want to have interaction and be safe, I think most people would take playing games on a screen rather than risking actual, health implications of being in person. So I think while it, obviously isn't optimal, the whole situation of coronavirus just isn't optimal, and I think this is the best solution given the circumstances we have.
Yeah, and to kind of build on that, like, it really is just a necessary evil because, like, the only way that we're going to get positive interaction is really all online. And like, even though we are all online and all our responsibilities are basically online, that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't take a step away and just spend some time outside for that release or relaxation from just screens. But yeah, there just really isn't any kind of solution outside of just a lot of screens.
All right. Well, one more round of applause for those guys. Well done. Okay. So our next team that's going to go is going to be Antonio and Ryan. And for the next teams, try and keep within a minute and 30 seconds, please. Antonio and Ryan, are you guys? Oh, I see. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Can you guys hear?
Can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Great, awesome. So one of the biggest issues what we're faced with in the remote environment is engagement. As we're all aware of, it's really hard to stay engaged with classes, with teachers, even just going and taking notes is so much harder in a remote environment. So to remedy that, our idea is monthly prize box. So if you're familiar with things like Loot Crate, it'd be kind of similar to that, but it'd be based off of classroom engagement. So essentially, it's going to be a program that checks how long you're in class. It'll utilize AI to make sure you're not sleeping, and if you're taking notes, and then also it ensures that you open the right tab. So the way it works is that depending on your course load, your attendance, participation, and effort towards the class, you get certain points. The harder you try, the more points you get. And every month you can redeem these points either for specific prizes or to add that sense of spontaneity that we don't get in a COVID environment. Then you can select a random prize. So again, this is very similar to like things like Loot Crate, except to be really based off of your effort towards the classroom to encourage students to be more engaged and more productive, and ultimately lead to a better learning environment because students are going to try a lot more. The great thing about this too is it doesn't only need to be marketed towards students or colleges, but it can also be marketed towards parents, because again, it's just making sure that students have incentive to try harder than we currently are doing with COVID. Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So there are currently privacy concerns for similar tools like I think it's Honor Lock. So how do you plan to address any concerns about privacy?
Right. So I think essentially the biggest thing there is that if we're sponsored by, like the big thing on HonorLock is that it's trusted because, or a lot of big companies like that, are trusted because they are sponsored and backed by, different universities or private companies. So I think if we can somehow partner with a private company, maybe one that, deals with private browsers, then this would be a lot more, I guess, trusted for students.
Cool. Time for one more question, judges. Going once. Going twice. All right, cool. Thank you very much, Antonio and Ryan. Well done. All right, we're going to go to Amar and IBK. So whenever you guys are ready.
Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
All right. So my name is Amar Kazi.
And I'm Ibukun Luagbaje.
And we're live Case Western. Our solution is to focus with friends.
So the problem is, because everything is virtual. Wait, I'm on Google.
Back, sorry.
Because everything is virtual, there's limited human interaction, leading to a lot of students having poor mental health. For a similar reason, people are also getting burnt out faster because they're not able to spread the energy amongst friends.
Our solution is to create a virtual library to increase student well-being and performance. These are some mock-ups of what our virtual library would look like, but obviously, it wouldn't be for a corporate environment or an office environment. We try to simulate what a Wade study room looks like or a KSL study room looks like. There is science behind working with people. Just these 4 chemicals are kind of what control how you work and how you're feeling when you're working. And we try to stimulate the release of these chemicals. And this happens naturally because, human development occurred in tribal societies where survival was dependent on those around you. And being and studying with friends will decrease student burnout and increase student well-being and increase student performance.
So join us as we defeat distractions and interruptions, win the fight against addictive social media and focus killing technologies. Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, so I do want to go back 1 minute. I think we do have like 30 seconds left. So we do operate on a SaaS market. So we would try to target, companies that like universities and, pitch to them and build out their libraries, analogous to what their actual university libraries look like. Thank you. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
All right, well done. Round of applause real quick. And judges, do we have questions?
Yeah, I was wondering, so you said you want to focus on universities. Do you see any benefit going to like corporations, like big companies? I know that's something they'd probably pay for monthly basis.
Yeah, so for big corporations, I found that they're pretty hesitant to use these new technologies. I know there are a lot coming out, especially for these that are targeted at these big corporations. And, at our smaller stage, I'd rather not compete with those companies. So if we do create something that is maybe an acquisition target for them, we'd definitely take a merger or an acquisition. But focus on Any other questions?
Thank you.
I do have a question. So what makes you think that this program, this kind of your service, basically, what do you think will draw universities into being willing to pay whatever price that you've put on this?
Yeah, so all of us are students, right? Have we all felt, the need or the want to study with other students? I'm sure we all have. And besides, like we just do Zoom or FaceTime and study with friends. But there's not something that's open 24/7. I wouldn't feel comfortable messaging one of my random friends like, "Hey, do you want to study at midnight?" I would rather go on to this thing, and if I have a Case Western ID, I could work with them. And the schools have not actually focused too much on improving the school experience during this COVID time. So I actually think this is something that Case Western should really look into.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys very much. Round of applause. I don't know how Zoom is filtering that sound. All right. Last group, we have Jake and Ellis. Whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. Share my screen. You guys see this? Yeah. Just kidding. I know you can. Okay. So our proposed solution to improving remote learning is virtual classrooms. So one big advantage of a virtual classroom, the idea is that we would equip everyone who is a student with VR equipment. It'd be like the headset, the controllers, whatever other auxiliary equipment we think they would need. And we think it comes with a lot of benefits. So first of all, it's a much more immersive environment than a Zoom call. For example, if you were to go into a virtual classroom for each one of your different classes and it had a different like virtual location, it would, give you a better context of what you're learning that thing in. So like when you learn something in a certain classroom, you know where you learned that and you can remember the location that you learned that, and it helps you retain information. And when you're sitting in front of your computer in your room all day, it blurs the lines between when you learned what, and it makes it harder to recall that information. And going hand in hand with that, it really it's much closer to face-to-face interaction. So if you can see people like sort of moving around, even if it's subtle, and reacting to things, and if it's the closer it is to a real life classroom, then the closer it is to face-to-face interaction, and the more you feel like you are still in that same environment that you were in.
Finally, another benefit is how affordable it is. It really is only about a couple $100, and with the prices of tuitions, we know it can easily be covered with the tuition money. And so that's why our first people we want to go to are private universities, where we know the money will be there to be able to support this remote experience. We also are looking forward to scaling and getting bigger, growing to public universities, public schools. As more apps get incorporated onto our software, the better the experience will be. We hope the students can contribute, and the never-ending students will continue to buying the virtual classroom. Thank you.
Well done. Judges, any questions?
So like just to make sure I'm understanding, so every kid would have like a Oculus or like some kind of VR headset?
Yeah, it would be like that. And then for probably not every class, but for select classes, like for example, labs and certainly like group presentations, discussion sections, and some lectures, you would have everyone who has that VR headset, and the professor would also have one equipped by the school, and they would kind of like render an environment where everyone would be in the same classroom. And it mimics a real classroom much better than just, a bunch of faces in a box.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Sam.
Thanks, Mike. So you mentioned that these Oculus or VR are only a couple $100. When you scale that to trying to give it to every single student, private universities in like Case Western, right? We've got about 5,000 students. It's going to start adding up to a large amount of money. How do you plan on covering those costs? And would you, what makes you think or expect that the university will pay an amount that high?
So you are correct that if you take it as a lump sum, it can be like a big amount of money. But if you look at what tuition has gone to in previous years, there's always a large chunk of tuition that has gone towards campus resources and events on campus and all sorts of things that we frankly just we no longer have accessible. And something that a lot of people were frustrated by is that tuition wasn't lowered by that much, and a lot of people don't have access to these resources. Why should someone who's at home be paying for, student activities that are going on campus that they don't even have the chance to participate in? Where we can take part of this money, because we know that each student has some money allocated for, whatever campus activities or community engagements, and we can use that money to do something that will guaranteed build connections.
All right, thank you both. One more time, round of applause. And well done to all the teams that have presented today. While the judges take our final moment to put in some numbers, we want to make sure we have everything filled out, judges. Prithik, the mastermind behind today's festivities, do you want to give yourself an intro? Tell us about yourself, Prithik.
Hi, firstly, thanks everyone for showing up. Really appreciate you taking your time out on Friday the 13th to, come to our event. We hope it was fun and somewhat rewarding as well. And I hope you got to know or get to know someone new today. I'm the community director for the Entrepreneurship Club, and I focus on trying to see and engage and find opportunities to engage our community, including all of you. So if you did enjoy this event and you'd like to see something similar to this, feel free to email me and we can try to see how we can get some cooler events like this to happen more frequently in the coming semester.
All right, thank you, Prithik. All right, judges, can I get a thumbs up from everyone if you have entered all your scores correctly? All right, participants, can I get a thumbs up if you're just ready? No, cool. Are we ready for this? All right. So we have two teams who will be getting prizes today. Will be our second place and our first place teams. The first team that will be getting prizes, you know them from their products such as, give me a second, I'm trying to read the spreadsheet here. Products such as Find Your Beach and Virtual Classrooms, Jake and Ellis. And the second group that will be receiving prizes from today's presentations, they made their debut with $500 billion in revenue from Windows, and most recently, Live Crew, Amar and IBK. So those teams will be getting prizes. We will coordinate with you guys individually to figure out what you want and how we'll get it to you. To the rest of the teams, we are so grateful for you participating today. Hoped you learned something. And take care. If you haven't joined DSC and the Entrepreneurship Club, please make sure you do so. We are both very fun clubs. And have a great and safe weekend.
Harry, I'll add real quick. Thank you so much, everyone, too. This is awesome, Prithik and Eddie, you did a great job. But I was also wondering if Entrepreneurship Club DSC could also stay on the call for a quick sec after, just a quick debrief, maybe like a 2-minute. That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Love you, Prithik.
Love you, Prithik.
Love you too.